Happy Friday, everyone. Greetings and thank you for joining us tonight on Turning a Moment into a Movement. I am J Love, and I represent the Justice for Gerard movement. Gerard is my son who was wrongfully convicted of a crime he didn't do, innocent, and he went to prison for 2 years. He was sentenced to the 17 years, but he served 2 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections for that crime. And so because of the journey that I went through with Gerard and meeting so many other people on that journey, other mothers and families who also shared a similar story of wrongful conviction, I decided to create this platform called Turning a Moment into a Movement, where we come here to discuss, educate, and inspire and motivate. But our main purpose is to talk about wrongful convictions and injustices. So thank you for joining us. Our mission here at Turning a Moment into a Movement is to bring awareness to the wrongful conviction of Gerard and all others who are wrongly convicted, over sentenced, mentally ill, and medically frail in our community, to inspire, organize, and educate all communities about the need to disrupt systems, policies, and patterns of the criminal legal system that leads to a wrongful conviction. So that's why we come here every Friday, and I thank you guys for joining us. Um, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. I was with Reverend Tia, and I'm about to bring her on yesterday, and we had a powerful, candid conversation about rehumanizing human rights. And so this week we're going to talk about, because there's a great event coming on. One of our brothers, Dion Riggins L., he's having a very important event that's vital to our community. And I want to bring on the flyer now, dealing with mental wellness. Let's get better together. So that's the reason why we titled our show tonight, Let's Get Better Together, because we want to also have the conversation about mental wellness and kind of letting go the stigma and removing those um, biases that we have about mental wellness. So, thank you guys for coming on tonight. I'm going to bring on Revatia so she can introduce herself. Hi, Revatia.
Well, hello there, Jay. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about having this conversation tonight because it is time for us to get better and to get better together. Yes, let's get better together. And that's for everything. So I'm coming to you from the choice zone where your choice matters. And I have been working with people who have had mental illness. I've been working with people dealing with mental illness or developmental challenges. Oh my goodness, since 1983. That's a long time. So I'm coming to you from the choice zone, and I am really excited about our own upcoming events that are coming soon. I'm helping people to create their own businesses if they are in the care business, if you're a caregiver. And if you care about people who have conditions, please contact me. And you can contact me at Tia Taylor at thechoicezone.com. Today, however, we are focusing on mental illness, and we deal with a lot of times people who have been incarcerated. And mental health and incarceration is extremely complex. It's significant because the studies have proven that once you are behind bars, most of the time, if not all of the time, when people come out, they have to seek mental and emotional support in order to survive. It is an epidemic behind bars, mental health is. And the prevalence of mental health disorders is exasperating behind bars. We had an awesome opportunity to speak with life coach Nicole. Of course, anything that starts with T, because my name is T, I get excited. I know, right? That's so vain. Nicole was with us. She provided, oh my goodness, such a wealth of information and her energy. And that's what it's about. It's having compassion for others and the energy to help one another and to help ourselves, right, Jay? Like
Yeah.
we really pay attention to ourselves first. So I'm excited to be here tonight. Um, let's keep going. We have got to keep going. And if you are interested at all, please contact J Love for the Justice for Gerard movement. If you want to turn your moment into a movement, if you want more information, please contact her. If you are interested in being on this show and sharing your story, we want to hear from you because hearing your story is very important. And not only that, we have answers and solutions, y'all. And so you are part of that answer. You are a part of that solution. So turning a moment into a movement at gmail.com. Please contact us there. All right.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be here tonight.
Yes, Revatia. So, T. Nicole is going to be one of the speakers tomorrow on the program. And I, and Revatia had an awesome conversation. So, Revatia, I'm going to play it now. I want to introduce everyone to Miss Coach T. Nicole.
Yeah.
Greetings, everyone. So, we're doing something a little bit different this Friday. Have Revatia in with me. Hey, Revatia.
Well, hello there. Hello, everyone.
So,
I am
because
so excited to be here tonight, Jay.
I know we have a special guest, and because our special guest can't be with us on tomorrow, we decided to give you guys a sneak peek about and introduce you to our guest. She is going to be on the mental health wellness program that our brother Dion, is having at Godland Unity on Saturday from 12 to 4. So let's bring our guest for this evening, Miss T. Nicole. Yay!
Hey, hi everyone.
Hi, Coach T. Nicole.
Hey, love. It's so good to see you on tonight. You and Reverend Tia. It's so nice
Yeah.
to see you both.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
introduce yourself and tell us who you are and what you do, and about the program on Saturday.
Okay, so hello everyone. I am Therese Teasley, aka I am Coach T Nicole. For those that do not know me, I am the host of the T Nicole Show and the founder of Driven by Purpose LLC. I am a life coach. I am a speaker. I am an author, and most importantly, I am myself. And I love to show up as my whole authentic self. I am a survivor of early childhood sexual trauma. And so, what I do is help individuals tap into their greatness, find their voice, and to show up as their authentic self. Because a lot of times, the people that I deal with and the people that I work with on a day to day basis, they come in many different forms. So, meaning some are broken, some are not broken, some are um from different races, backgrounds. And so what I do is I show people to lead with their heart, to lead
Mhm.
knowing that they have power and control. So I have been doing coaching for a very long time. I started off in the school, so that's a little bit about what I do. And I started working with Brother Dion recently, and I was so proud of what him and his nephew was doing. And so I was like, free people. And then I was like,
Yeah.
heal people, heal people. So I said, let's marry the two and let's do heal people, free people. So that's
Yes.
that's why I was like, I wanted to be a part of this movement. And I'm so glad that I'm here on tonight to be able to talk about what's taking place on Saturday.
Yeah. And I want to put the banner up because I want everyone to know it's dealing with mental wellness. Let's get better together. There's going to be a conversation with Coach T. Marie, Demetrius Knuckles L, who's been a guest here before. Um, and who are the other two guests,
We have
Coach T?
We have Paris Freeman and Demetrius Knuckles. I have not had the pleasure of meeting any of them just yet, but we have some mental specialists. Then Paris, she is a behavior therapist as well as a licensed social worker. And then Demetrius, he is the founder of the Great Mind Project
Mine.
5.0, and I am the
Mhm.
Driven by Purpose. So I look forward to meeting and hearing from them because they all have like their own knowledge of working with individuals that have mental health issues. And so I'm glad that they are on the panel as well.
Yes, and again, you guys, it's at Godland Unity Church on Schoolcraft 22450 Schoolcraft, Detroit, Michigan. That's where we had the Love Gathering last year. So, you guys, make sure you check it out. Bring some friends, your family. Bring your questions. It starts at 12 noon,
Yes, it starts at 12:30.
12:30. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, the topic is let's get better together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
let's heal together. We're gonna heal together. Yes.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's heal together. What are some of the things that we can do, together as not only as family, but as community to
Okay,
work
so
on our healing?
yeah, well, I'm so glad you asked that question because a lot of times people in our community don't realize that we all have our struggles, and so many people deal with mental illness and they are afraid to get diagnosed. Number one. Number two, they say, oh, I'm just doing certain things, like I have these habits, and not realizing these habits can stem from your mental health. And so, like, sometimes you could be so exhausted mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and it can cause you to actually have a mental illness. Or sometimes things could be passed down from generation to generation to generation. And so the thing is, now it's time for us to confront it, to acknowledge it, to be willing to be vulnerable, because sometimes it's hard to be vulnerable, especially if you might be getting, if someone get diagnosed with a mental illness, they sometimes don't want to accept it. So to be in our community and to see people that look like us, see professionals that have dealt with it, may have loved ones that are dealing with mental illness, and just saying like, oh wow, this person looks like me, she or he is a professional, and now they can help me. And it's no
Mm,
more, you don't have to be alone. So that's why I love this topic, because we are going to heal together. You're going to get
mm,
some tips. You're going to learn that, somebody on the panel, they may have dealt with a mental illness, or they may have had a breakdown where they just was so exhausted and not realizing they need to take those mental health days. So it's
mhm.
just like being able to talk about it, and then seeing people that look like you say they can come help. They can help me, because I remember growing up, what happens in my house stayed in my house. And so we never talked about what was going on, but a lot of people were suffering silently. And so now we're going to have those conversations, because it's the
Yeah.
tough love. And then being able to say, you know what, I'm not alone. My family, they dealt with this, and now I'm dealing with it. But if somebody would have just said, today I want to stand up and say, I want to take back my health, I want to take back my life. So this is why this conversation is very important.
Yes. And it also helps to erase or remove the stigma that we have held on to for so long about mental illness. It's
Hmm.
not, you don't have to be crazy. You
Hmm.
know, people think when you're talking about mental illness, automatically you're crazy. No, it could just happen. These things pop up. Life is life.
Hmm.
And so we have to be, open and available to deal with it on a different level. And so I think this is awesome that we're having these conversations. It's not like you need to be in an institution, and it doesn't have to go that far. It can be like, some days we have, what they call the blues, and the blues can last a little bit too long,
Yeah.
you know, and you
Hmm.
might need some help navigating out of the blue.
Hmm.
So,
And
so
can I
Mother
add to
Tia,
that? Can I
go
add?
ahead.
Oh, Reverend T, no, are you going to say something? Because I want to bring it all together. I love what you just said. Reverend T, you want to
No,
say
it's,
something? Hmm.
well, I was just going to talk about the habit of dismissing our pain and the frustrations that life has,
Mhm.
and that we're so easy, in our community, to just keep moving forward and not take a pause and say, okay, I'm not okay. I'm
Hmm.
not okay right now, and I need to deal with that. And when you look at the history of African Americans and the need to keep going, and I want people to understand that that's a colonized mind that says I can drop a baby and
Mhm.
keep going, and I can get back out in the field. I don't even leave the field. I just drop the baby and keep working. Or I don't have, my pain doesn't matter.
Hmm.
My hurt doesn't matter. It's okay for you to take my child, and I have to get over it. And so when we look at these actions that have happened, and even as of recent, I tell people we had a pandemic not long ago and are still having effects from that, and people are acting as if it's not a thing.
Hmm.
And so it is a time to heal. So T, I am so excited about the event that's coming up, and I'm gonna try definitely to be there because we got to have the conversations and we have to know how to heal together because the answer is within us.
Thank you. I love that. So you said something. You said the answer is within us. It's in our reach because you have a title as a reverend. Sometimes people want to just put all their problems on pastors, on all the leadership, and sometimes the leaderships be in position and they going through their own hurt. And so the thing is, it be a lot of people, they be like, oh, I was hurt by people in the church. But listen, we got to quit blaming everybody else and be willing to take accountability for our actions and quit just always running to the altar to get prayer. What kind of work is you doing outside of the church? So this right here is imperative. That's why I said I want to bring it full circle because I'm loving the fact that you on right here right now, because I'm telling you, a lot of times, like my uncle, like a lot of my uncles are pastors, and a lot of times people put their problems on people, on the pastor and on the other leadership, and that caused a lot of hurt for even y'all as leaders. So now we're gonna have these conversations. So I'm a life coach. I can't diagnose anybody with anything, but the type of program that I have, we're gonna get to the root of that cause. We're gonna get to the root cause of whatever your situation is, and we're gonna learn the power of our words. We're gonna learn to take accountabilities for our actions, and we're gonna learn how to forgive people and move forward, because it's like we need everybody to do this. It can't just be one person. It has to be the teachers. It has to be the doctors. It has to be the pastors. It has to be the parents. It has to be the individuals. It has to be everybody. So I'm so glad that we are going to have this conversation and we're creating this safe space. So like J Love and her team, y'all have created this space. You turned a moment into a movement. So I'm so glad you done turned some moments, a lot of them, into some powerful movements. So I'm glad, and I'm looking forward to where God is going to take this platform. And so I want people to come out on Saturday, because you're going to meet some people, because we are partnering up with other people in our community to provide resources, safety, and a better way for you to just live. That's all we want to do. We want our community to start speaking up and not being afraid to say, you know what, I am weak. I am vulnerable. I am going through. I'm going to be transparent because our children need to see us. Our loved ones need to see this. So that's the whole goal for Saturday. So I'm looking forward to everybody that's going to come out on Saturday. And even if you can't make it on Saturday, let's become partners, because that's the whole goal of Michigan Turning Point. We're going to turn some things around in our community. And so we are building the things that we need to turn this thing around. Yes, we don't know when our mental health is going to fail us. We don't know when we're going to occur a sickness or an illness. We don't know, but we have the tools that we need. And so we just got to be willing to get access to the tools. So that's what it is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. That's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, bang, bang, bang. You know what? And also, also forgiving yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Forgiving yourself, because sometimes we carry so much. What if I could have did this, or maybe if I would have said this, or maybe, and just forgiving, allowing yourself forgiveness can
Mm-hmm.
make a difference. And being in a space where it's okay. It's okay, because sometimes we don't know any better, but when we do, we can do better. So
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to Saturday, and I want everybody to join you, Coach T, Nicole,
Thank you.
Dion, and all the other speakers on Saturday. There's going to be a great conversation, you guys. Just come on out at Godland Unity Church. We're going to have Coach T, Nicole back with us next month. And really dig in and have, these conversations, because, even dealing with wrongful convictions, And, the families, not only the person who isn't the innocent person in prison impacted, their family and support outside is impacted. They're like in that with them. They may not be physically in the jail with them, but they're doing time with them, with that person. And so for those who are impacted, this would be a great space to come in with your questions. It's okay, because I know on my journey, I thought sometimes I was gonna lose my mind. But I had, my goal was to focus on my son and stop him from losing his, and I couldn't lose mine because I needed him to, be in a good space so he can endure that, even with the severe Crohn's disease and everything that he had going on. So, yeah, we need to have more of these conversations because Reverend Tia and I have been talking about this the whole time, about dealing with not only talking about the problem, but what we're going to do, the solution. What's the solution? What are we going to work for? What kind of action we're going to take so we can move through this journey and heal together. So Reverend Tia, would you like to add anything else?
Well, I'm just so grateful for Nicole to come today and being able to have the conversation. And, most importantly, because this to me is the community connections that this time is calling for. And we're responding and we're saying that healing is now, healing is possible, and that our healing is up to us, just like she said. So I'm with you 100%. I am one that believes that, when it comes to the word, we are the word in action. We are supposed to be the living epistle. And we are not supposed to be just in a building, caught up in there, and not being able to heal within our communities. And it's not supposed to be all on one person, but we're doing this together. And we're doing this in our own homes too. In our own homes first. How many of us have affirmations that our children are saying, to make sure that they're saying positive things and creating positive scenarios. And so it's up to us. And so I'm just very blessed that this is happening, excited to see the difference that it's going to make in our community.
Yes. And T Nicole, what is it that you want to leave us with? That's what we usually do, What is it that you want to leave? What would you like to leave us with until next time?
Okay, so first I want to send a huge shout out to Detroit Community Care Network mobile unit, because they will also be there on Saturday to provide free health assessments. So y'all make sure y'all come so y'all can get a health assessment while y'all are there. And I want to leave you guys with this information. It's never too late to start living out loud each and every day. So that simply means live your life fully. Don't worry about anything that you cannot control, but live bold, bravely, and freely. And thank you guys for having me on the show again tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. This was awesome. Reverend Tia.
Yes.
Wow, that was so good.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Love her energy. I can't wait till tomorrow. I think that is going to be, I just believe it's up to the community. I see community coming together. A lot of times we can focus on a lot of negative things that are happening in the world, but we got to start really celebrating and looking at what is working. And our connection works.
Yeah.
Our love works. Compassion still works.
Right.
Yes. So excited.
I am too. I see Attorney Mack is here, so we're gonna bring him on in. Greetings, Attorney Matt.
Well, hello, my sisters, and please accept my apology, but the bad guys don't keep regular hours like I do. So I got to go where they are and handle my business. So forgive me, but I'm always in spirit. And I'm like a bad penny, J Love. You ain't finna get rid of me. I'm gonna keep on turning up. So that's where we're at. I don't remember seeing that sister before. How long ago was that? Was that recorded?
Just the other day.
Okay.
Attorney Matt.
Hey, J Love, was that when you was blocking my access to the show?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Hey, J Love,
Yes.
you know me and my position with the haters. I got to check with you on a regular basis. So.
Right. No, Attorney Matt.
Yes.
You were good.
Well,
Miss T. Nicole was going to be, Coach. I keep saying Miss Coach T. Nicole was going to be with us this evening, but come to find out she had an engagement that she had to attend during our time. So because the event is tomorrow, I really wanted her to come on and introduce herself and tell us about what they're going to be talking about tomorrow. So looking forward to stopping by. It's going to be at Godland Unity Church again, you guys. Godland Unity Church, which is on Schoolcraft 22450 Schoolcraft in Detroit, and dealing with mental wellness. Let's get better together. And so that's what we're talking about tonight, Attorney Matt. But before we get Revertia get started, we gotta let you introduce yourself.
I'm so excited when you do it. We're waiting for the Mighty Master.
we gotta sit back and let you introduce yourself.
Go ahead, Tia.
No.
Right.
For you, Attorney Matt.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yes.
It's your turn. We can't go on. The show cannot go on until you have been properly introduced.
Okay. Look, ladies.
Brag on you and tell everybody that anytime I need an attorney, I call you right away and that you are there. And if you need somebody to be the bulldog in the courtroom, you better call Attorney Mac. Now go ahead, introduce yourself.
HMAC.com is your hookup. Go ahead. Go ahead, Attorney Mac.
Okay, Reverend Tia, I'm sorry. I thought I was waiting for you to go first, but you already went. I apologize. Okay. Well, look. Okay, thank you, ladies, and thank you for your forbearance. Dr. Hugo J. Mack here, y'all, Esquire. One of the only, there's 47,000 lawyers in the state of Michigan. I'm the only one who did not parachute from heaven to be with you, but came up from hell through the precious blood of God and Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, who I unashamedly profess. I always say when I go and compete against these other lawyers and they talking to the judge, well, I went to Harvard, magna cum laude. I went to Stanford, summa cum laude. I tell them right quick, I went to the University of Toledo. Thank you, Laude. So see, for me, so it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. So, J Love and Reverend Tia, I love you, and I pride myself. I think I'm the only attorney in the state of Michigan, which is one reason a little bit late tonight, that have unorthodox business hours, okay? Because I go where the people are. You see, my clients, not the people that drive over bridges and fancy cars. My people live under bridges and cardboard boxes, okay? See, those are my clients, and I'm the only lawyer that knows it has business hours from about 8:30 at night to 3:30 in the morning. So that's the way it is, and I'm proud to be here, proud to be able to take part in a Park Ridge Community Center program, Civic Awareness, with Trischè Duckworth and Survivor Speaks. And, it is really a wonderful thing to be able to see people come together and know what their civic duty is, their civic duty is, and particularly Black people. So I'm so glad we have a chance to talk about the wellness, because coming away from that conference, that meeting that they had, I realize more now than ever before how voting is tied into the Black community's mental health. It really is. It really is. It is tied into our mental health. And, I love and respect people that talk about inner strength and inner perspection, which is true, and prayerfully developing a personal relationship with God, the higher power and stuff. But if you cannot influence your environment, you can be strong and spiritual, and that's wonderful. But if you want a ship that's sinking, God can do anything. Okay, he can heal that ship. But more likely, God is going to tell you, I'm going to send a rowboat, get your behind up out that ship, before it go down, get overboard and swim like I taught you. Don't stay on that sinking ship. Either fix it or get the hell off, okay? Mm-hmm. That's where I'm coming from. And so for me, I really rededicated myself at that program to pushing the issue of us being represented, and stop letting people take our voice from us. Stop being so damn selfish where we put, I got to go to the store. I ain't got time to get down there to vote. Jury duty. I got a hair appointment that day. See, and so, I think one of the other members kind of chastised me a couple of years ago when I talked about the responsibility we have. And they were saying, well, yeah, but no, you cannot eliminate the negative things that's happened. I'm not doing that. I'm saying control, we can control. And I'm telling you, if you, me, anybody listening, if you want to vote badly enough, they cannot stop you. Oh, well, no, Attorney Mack, you don't understand. They say I got to go get a state ID. Well, get a state ID. Get a state ID. You ain't got no problem getting a driver's license. Get a state ID. I bet you one thing, if they's handing out $10,000 checks, you know what? I'll make it $500. If they's handing out $500 checks, you come down and prove you got a state ID, they'd be lined up like they's getting government cheese. So what I'm telling you is that we can do it. And so, J Love and Reverend Tia, my thing, I think, is going to be more and more on voter awareness, in my law practice. And the young Black men that I encounter every day, and convince them, stop being invisible, please, because, if you don't vote, you are invisible. So in any event, Reverend Tia and J Love, that's what I'm about, okay? All right.
They count on you to be invisible.
That's right. So, well, here we go. If you find yourself on Trouble Boulevard, push, pull, tow, drag that hoopity to Mack Street. And when you're there, park in my virtual underground garage. Now be sure to read the sign. It says free parking, not valet parking. I would recommend you never leave the keys in your car in my neighborhood. It's free parking, not valet parking. And when you're there, get your cell phone and call the Freedom Line, 734-239-3118. The Freedom Line, 734-239-3118. The Freedom Line, 734-239-3118. You will come to one final and immutable reality. hmaclaw.com is your hookup. hmaclaw.com is your hookup. hmaclaw.com is your hookup. And now, Reverend Tia and J Love, in order to give the people, our audience, Mr. and Mrs. America, ships at sea, excuse me while I and Aaliyah do something a little bit different today. We will be doing the slow drag boogaloo. Remembering all them basement parties from the late 70s. Oh, good Lord, help me. And the slow drag with the accompaniment of my sister, Reverend Tia, from Pulp Fiction, Batman. And then introducing for the first time to the audience, the slow drag, Janice.
I like that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, J Love, I know, J Love, all the time, people be after you and asking you, J Love, when you going to kick that man off the show? The haters are there. J Love, you're a great woman with character. You don't tell me, but I can see it in your eyes. Come by your house, put note on your car, leaving note all around for you and all that's following you where you be going. I know what's happening. You see, J Love, because I've had them come and try to confront me, smiling all in my face all the time, wanting to take my place. Damn backstabbers. See, so I know what it is. I know what it is. But all that stuff, one guy was coming by my house, see my friend. How come you should come by my house? I ain't there, just my woman there, J Love. Tell me that. See, I had to put a stop to that. So I don't have that problem no more. But I'm saying, J Love and Reverend Tia, these are the lengths some people will go to try to stab me in my back. You see? So, J Love, I think about it all the time, J Love. I think about it all the time. If you was ever to yield to temptation, the first thing I do, J Love, you know what I do?
No.
I'd go outside in the rain, J Love. Now, you may ask Attorney Mac, why you gonna go outside in the rain? I'm gonna tell you why. Cause raindrops that hide my teardrops. And no one would ever know that I'm crying, J Love, I'm crying. Deep down, I'm dying. See, J Love, I'm a man with pride. And to the world outside my tears, I refuse to explain. I just wish it would rain, J Love. I just wish it would rain. And J Love, should you ever consider the unthinkable, even consider the unthinkable, remember the words of my great friend and colleague, Morris Day of the time. J Love, rather than kick me off the show, I'd feel a little better if you just slap my face. You see, because J Love, ain't nothing worse than rejection. Okay, ain't nothing worse than rejection. So I want you to know that. And J Love, if all else fails, remember my friend, the late great Sam Cooke. I've been loving the movement too long, J Love, to stop now. Please, J Love, please don't make me stop now. Please don't make me stop now. So J Love, in conclusion, I want you to know one thing. I know people ask you, J Love, does that crazy lawyer mean some of that stuff, or he just be talking? Well, I want you to know, damn straight I mean it. See, damn straight I mean it. And I want you to know this unashamed personal announcement, self-grandizing posture for hmaclaw.com as you hook up. I mean every word of it. Because, J Love, it's brought to you by one Dr. Hugo J. Meck, Esquire, the one true king of Russia, Scotland, and Lower Harlem. I love you. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Yes, Attorney Mac.
We gotta have that. Gotta have that.
Yeah. Now we can push for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Mac.
Thank you.
See, I even add, look, Attorney Mac, I even added the freedom line.
J Love, that's why you my leader.
And for those who might be listening later on to this, you got to watch it live. You must watch it live. So, oh wow. Yes.
Yes.
Amen.
So, Attorney Mac and Reverend Tia, we're talking about let's get better together and the importance of mental wellness.
Mm-hmm.
And how, and I know, Attorney Mac, you probably deal with this a lot, in and out the courts and stuff. That, people who are impacted with the criminal legal system, a lot of them deal with mental wellness
that's right.
issues.
That's right.
And I don't know what year that they got rid of a lot of the mental health facilities in Michigan. But now it's like Michigan Department of Corrections is like the mental health facility.
Right.
And so people with health issues are being criminalized more and more.
That's right.
Every day.
That's right.
And so I think
That's right.
that these conversations are necessary because we have to normalize it.
Mm-hmm.
We have to normalize, just like we go get our blood pressure check and get physicals and everything. We need to get our mentals checked.
Right.
And when you feeling like, and sometimes you can feel it, like I'm just not feeling good, I'm just real sad. Sometimes we have to seek help outside ourselves and be okay with it.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
So I'm gonna let Reverend Tia take it over, but yeah, that's what we're gonna start focusing on, because I know Allie does a lot of work in that field as well. And there is also other resources than the police, than calling the police all the time.
Right.
Because once they get in the system, they're not getting them help. They're just pushing them through the system.
Right. J Love, but before Reverend Tia begins her lesson for us, can I just say this from a legal point of view quickly?
Yes.
John Engler was governor in Michigan. It must have been started in the mid 80s. It was served governor for 2 terms, and I can't remember. Maybe it was the early 90s or mid 90s when Jennifer Granholm was elected. But in any event, whatever that 8-year period was, that was a hallmark in the disgrace and denigration of the entire state of Michigan. Because when that bobblehead, that buffoon, was elected, because Coleman Young and Blanchard got in a contest, as well, it's a family show and I'm talking to women. But anyway, got in a contest as to who was more endowed, put it that way, okay? And Coleman Young did not push, and I don't care if you like Coleman Young or not, it's the truth. It's the truth. Coleman Young, who had an ego of his own, by the way, did not push precincts to vote for Blanchard running against John Engler. John Engler won the governorship by less than 10,000 votes. Less than 10,000 votes. That's less than a precinct in the city of Detroit. Less than a precinct, okay? So because that bobblehead got elected governor, the Lafayette Clinic. See, the era you're talking about in Detroit is when they had mental health centers for people, okay? Engler was key in closing those mental health centers down. Those mental health centers were the only buffer between the man or woman on the street that had mental health challenges and the jail and penitentiary. Those centers were the only buffer. When that buffer was eliminated, then people went straight from the streets to the jail and from the jail to the penitentiary. So that is exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Okay. And then the state of Michigan, the legislature decided to pass a law called guilty but mentally ill. Okay. Guilty but mentally ill, you see. So that was another way of eliminating a safeguard for people that had mental health issues. So they made it possible for a judge or jury to say, Lucius or Cleotis, Malvina, whatever. Yeah, they got some serious mental health issues. But you know what? We can say guilty but mentally ill. And so you know what we're going to do? And I'll tell you from personal experience, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have a little building right in the penitentiary, okay?
Yeah.
Where we can house them in that building, okay? But if they can be like outpatient, what we're going to do, we got Medlines. And for 10 years, I saw them people, broke my heart. Walking around, you know how you can walk a pair of shoes so much the heel gets worn down? You know what I'm saying? Walking, and oh, by the way, penitentiary Oxfords are breeding grounds for athlete's foot. Breeding ground for athlete's foot. Black on black, inside over black. Okay. Okay. So anyway, and people walking around like that, go to Medline, get their meds, have the nurse check their mouth to be sure they swallow it, and then hit the track. hit the track, hit the track till they call yard. That is exactly what happened. And if the Lord decide that I should need to be gone for tonight, y'all remember what I'm telling you, because it's damn sure the truth. Okay. So what I'm saying is that they have institutionalized ways to criminalize and punish mental health. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. Okay. So, and I guarantee you, there's no hell of a treatment being given anybody for mental health issues in the penitentiary. No, they aren't. No, they aren't. No, they aren't. No, they aren't. Okay. So I don't care if you're a person with money. I had a client one time that was a veteran. Okay. A Vietnam veteran, as a matter of fact. And the Vietnam vet's supposed to get benefits through the VA hospital. Okay. And he was eligible for getting services at the VA hospital, but he had to get there. He had to get there. They would not allow this man even to help pay the guard's time taken for treatment. Okay. Wouldn't even, so the only treatment that man got was in the prison. Okay. Which was next to none. So in any event, that's what happened with Lafayette Clinic in Detroit. Detroit is the biggest county in the state of Michigan. Wayne County is the biggest county in the state of Michigan. Detroit is the biggest city in the state of Michigan. And most of the people in the penitentiary come from Detroit. Okay. From the Wayne County area. So anyway, that's what we face. And I'm sorry, Reverend Tia, just as a lawyer, I had to say that. So
oh no, I love it. That's basically what we need to talk about, because people are waiting for a system to help them. And there was help during when Blanchard was governor. That was the most monies allocated to mental health. It was also the beginning of getting people who were unnecessarily in hospitals out. There were horrible atrocities that happened in mental health hospitals. So, but there was no balance. So Blanchard began the people coming out, but coming out to be more independent. So that's where you had what they call the supportive independent programs. And I was a part of that when they first came out, and having people trained in the community and educating the community about mental health. So it seemed like things were going in a very positive direction. But then when you say, okay, we don't need no hospitals, well, now we're going, where's the happy medium here?
That's
and what
right.
people need to realize is that if you are expanding prison, hear me out, somebody getting paid. And it's not you. It's not you. Okay. So it's a way of the expansion of prison. And when you talk about voting, you talk about mental health, they did in the National Library of Medicine. Okay. The National Library of Medicine. There is an article talking about to be young, Black, and powerless, which suggests it's a focus on issues related to racial disenfranchisement and inequality in context to the new Jim Crow era. Okay, so hear me, people. We done went back. We done backslid as far as justice is concerned. The new Jim Crow, legally came about through Michelle Alexander, refers to the racial caste system that has emerged due to mass incarceration of Black Americans. Okay, and we already know that this is disproportionately done. Okay, so with the mass incarceration, how did that happen? You're talking about the war on drugs, okay? Mass incarceration. That was the beginning. Okay, the beginning of that. The young Black people, young imprisonment of young teens, young boys, early. All of this is gearing towards the expansion of prison. Okay, so here we are when it comes to voting rights. Voting rights. So now you've incarcerated a lot of our people and made it so that they can't vote. And they can't sit on a jury. And I don't know why. But ever since, every time I got asked to sit on a jury, I said yes. I was in college and I said yes, and I was there. And do you know I have not had a request in years? Now, I don't know. I think I might have to do an investigation on that. They may not want me. But when it comes to voting rights, if you've had a felony, you can't vote.
Yeah, you know. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then why is that important? Because Black individuals, people of color, that's a significant number of felony convictions.
Mm-hmm.
So we're already not able to vote. Some people have already been restricted. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have economic disparities, the impact of mass incarceration. So when you look at mass incarceration, it makes up people who have are in poverty, people who have health challenges, okay, economic, educational disparities.
Mm-hmm.
These are people that, and then mental health disparities. These are people that end up behind bars. And so poverty is criminalized. Yes, it is. Not being educated, ignorance is criminalized. All of these situations are criminalized. And so, what can we do? We have to take our families back. And where do we start? Where do we start? We need to recognize when a loved one may be exhibiting mental health challenges. Okay? For instance, being depressed or having a low, unhappy cloud on there around them all the time, not having motivation to do or prompted to do anything. A person who can't maintain employment, not able to have healthy relationships, socialization.
Mm-hmm.
These are early signs, because a lot of times mental health can be prevalent and the person may be 17 years old, 17 or 18. And if we can begin that love journey to help them through early on so that they don't have to get involved in the system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do you do that? I mean, you know what I'm talking about. I know I'm not the only one who has had people in the family where you early find out that they are participating in substance abuse or substance use.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
You know, and a lot of times the substance use is because they've had so much trauma. You know,
Self-medicated.
and if they had the trauma and they're trying to mask it, they're trying to mask it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they want to be numb. They want to be numb. I mean, listen, after the epidemic that we experienced recently, who didn't want to be numb? I took many naps. Okay, how do you respond to traumatic events?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, if you are masking, you got to say, I need some help. If you're all the time drinking, then you need some help because
Yeah.
you're not trying to see or deal with it. And I get that. Sometimes
Yeah,
we don't
because
deal.
you're right here because I mean just being Black, it's a lot of trauma.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I
yeah.
know the other day I was driving home for picking up my grandson from school. And you know, just minding my own business, driving the speed limit, you know, getting ready to approach a light. And next thing I know, I see the red, white, blues coming fast behind me, flashing. You know, immediately I felt the panic just from seeing the lights, just from, I'm thinking, did I do something? Did I do something? Because it was coming real fast. So I'm getting over and he just sped around me. But just the feeling, that's traumatic and that's trauma. And having that all the time, because that's a lot, And so just being Black comes with some kind of stuff that we have to look at sometimes, and we have to address, if it get too bad, you gotta start addressing it. And
Exactly.
the main thing is it's okay. You have to be in a place of it's okay to get help. It's okay to reach out. It's okay to have a conversation. I've been feeling some kind of way.
Right.
I don't think people get like it's okay, because we all have something.
That's right. That's right. And J Love, as a Black man, I can tell you, with all the demasculation that has been leveled against Black men in the history of this nation, slavery and castration, all this kind of thing, with the fear that no white woman was safe in the presence of a Black man. Okay, I'm an old movie watcher. I think I've seen just about every kind of movie they made. And remember Birth of a Nation, shown in the White House, by the way, by that racist Woodrow Wilson. Look, don't get me started. Don't get me started. But anyway, I know I'm preaching to the choir, but what I'm saying is, particularly with Black men who they've tried to demasculate us as part of the fabric of this nation, okay, while they might admire some of our athletic prowess, they have absolutely zero respect for our mental prowess. Okay? For our mental prowess. And so even coming up and in law school and today, I still encounter that. So, and speaking as a Black man, and so we have been taught, and some of this are our mother's faults too, by the way, don't cry, don't show no weakness, hold it on in. And you might as well ask somebody to hold in a mouthful of lava, okay? You're not going to be able to hold it in. It's going to come out somehow, some kind of way. And I'm saying the problem that we've had is with so much Black incarceration, male incarceration, mama's been had to be mama and daddy. Sometime Medea got to be mama and daddy, all that. And that's a really an unfair burden to put on a woman. It really, really is. It's hard enough being a woman. And yeah, I'm going to talk about Black women. That's what I'm talking about. I'm concerned about all women. I'm talking about Black women. Don't like it, turn it off. So anyway, so what I'm saying is, because, with my mother raising my brother and myself, you know what I'm saying? She had to be everything, everything, a very awkward conversation she had with me about sex, but it's something they have to do, you know what I'm saying? And I wish I could have learned more about those sort of things from another man who could understand, the changes I'm going through physiologically and all that kind of stuff. She knows something about it, but she don't know about it like no man. But anyway, so what I'm saying is we've had a hell of a mojo placed on us, and part of it is we bought into the narrative, we can't be successful unless we can dribble that ball. We can't be successful unless we can run that ball. We can't be successful unless we hit that ball. Okay, because that's it. That's or sing that song, excuse me, and do that tap dance, that Bojangles thing, and really we don't help each other with the glorification of some of these people we see on the Super Bowl. And look, it's anyway, I'm not knocking somebody trying to make some money. But then when you see these superstars, these Black men and women, like, that's what I want to be. I want to be that, I want to be that Beyonce. I want to be that Usher. I want to be that. Well, go on and win the 50 million in one lottery. Do that. And so anyway, J Love, just and Reverend T, I just want to say, as a Black man, I still feel the pain of it, and I feel the pain of needing to talk to somebody, and I've had to overcome. Don't show it, don't show it, so.
But Attorney Matt, but that comes again, we can tie that all the way back to slavery, because you couldn't cry. You couldn't show the pain when you was getting beaten and castrated and all kinds of stuff that they were putting you through.
That's right.
Putting our ancestors through. They had to get right out there, eating all that pain and all that, and pick that cotton or whatever it was their job to do.
That's right.
So that mindset is kind of embedded, and we don't know because it's just a trigger that's in our part of our DNA, part of our makeup. And so all these things that we're seeing that's going on with us now is kind of a spilling over of all the trauma that people have been carrying from generation to generation.
That's right. That's right.
And it's now it's just, can't hold it in no more. And it's coming out how it's coming out.
That's right.
And so instead of reparations could be mental health facilities, unlimited mental health, because of you can't erase something that's been embedded in you for generations. You can work on it, but it's going to somehow pop up. And so when we seeing these things, I think it's a disservice when you say it's criminal, because it's really illness. If I had a heart attack, is that criminal, or is that's an illness?
Right.
And same thing, your head can be. I mean, I had a head injury where I rolled over in my Jeep. I flew up. Someone hit me in my Jeep, flew all the way up the embankment, and then I rolled all the way back down to the freeway. And I had a head injury. And I'm telling you, when going through this head injury, and sometimes, I still have some effects from it, but suffering a head injury, you don't feel like yourself from banging your head so much.
Right.
And people don't know, just falling down, hitting your head just can cause injury.
That's right.
And so, we're walking around with injuries to our heads from sports, from whatever, all kinds of stuff. And we're just starting to get even help from that. You know what I'm saying? Because of, there was NBA. I mean, not the NBA, the NFL was, with all their money, wanted to keep it in denial that people were out here suffering for head injuries. So,
because they're still making money off us.
Yeah, right.
That's the thing. They still make money off of people of color, off of creativity and ideas, and until they can start doing the same thing, when they get the dance down, then they do it, and because we won't buy and sell just to each other, then, or have our own way of economically evolving within our own economies, then that has been the problem. So consequently, we wait until they showboat something that's similar to what we do, and then we buy into it when it comes across the media, and then it's to the point where we don't even know who we are. You don't even know yourself, because a lot of people are mimicking and look at, well, what's going on in the media, what's going on across the waves, and how can I be like that? And people have allowed this world to determine the definition of success. And until we start to really look at what does success really mean, and bring it to our homes and bring it to ourselves. Early on, my father would say success is doing what you want to do, being who you want to be, doing what God wants you. This is when you're in alignment with God, doing what
That's
God
right.
wants you to do, being who God wants you to be, so that I'm not aligning myself with just any and everybody.
That's right.
Everybody, I'm not going to follow just everybody.
That's right. That's right.
My children could not follow and have role models that they could not touch. Who's your role model? I didn't have to tell them not to do it, but if you ask them who do you look to? I look to my father, I look to my mother, and then when we got to know that when trauma hits home, how do we respond? It is time to call the tribe together. Okay.
Yeah.
Get your tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that sometimes families can be a little broken, but whoever is the loved ones who care, who show compassion, who are there for spiritual, mental, physical support,
That's right.
bring
That's
them
right.
together.
That's right.
Okay. And show the person, I love and support you. I support your purpose. I support the call of God that's on the inside of you. I'm supporting this. So and I'm going to use this as an example because it is dear to my heart, and it did recently happen. So I have a niece whose mother transitioned. She's going into her senior year. She was in her junior year.
Oh.
And a few months after that, her mom's sister transitioned also.
Ooh.
And
wow.
And so here we are, and her father has not been available for her. So it's traumatic.
Mm-hmm.
So the outer part of that, the stuff sometimes that the world sees is that, oh, she's starting to get into drugs. Oh, she wants to kill herself. Oh, instead of saying this child has been impacted traumatically.
Mm-hmm.
And where do we go from here? Okay.
Right.
So what do? We had to call all the people who loved her around her, call the tribe together. Yes, we had to get help. Yes, she had to go in for treatment. Yes. Yes, she had to, she's still getting counseling, but the main thing is saying we support your values, and we're not stigmatizing you. We're not saying you're a bad person. We're not saying that
Mm-hmm.
this experience does not make it you. This is an experience. And we had to begin to help her reframe what happened. How can you learn from your experiences? How can you learn?
That's
What
right.
did you learn so far?
That's right.
Okay. She's had police contact. Thank God it didn't go far and it wasn't so much. But all of these are cries for help.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a way of saying that mentally, I'm not okay right now. So we have to recognize in the community the early signs of the cry.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not going to say, they're not going to come out crying and saying, I'm a wreck and I need some help. That's not how it happens.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's
They're
right.
going to run away and get with somebody that help them become numb. So I don't feel this tragic situation that I'm feeling. I don't want to feel like this.
Right.
That's right.
So,
Right, Reverend Tia.
and in doing that, we still set boundaries, establish times. I'm talking about young people. Young people. The tablets and the technology cannot be parenting
Mm-hmm.
for our children and our teens.
Mm-hmm.
They are not parenting devices. Okay. You still need to go and see and meet parents of the people that your children hang around.
Mm-hmm.
And if they got a boyfriend or a girlfriend, please meet them. Meet them. You should know who your children are around. You should know who they're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was young, I tell it all the time. You don't know who's going to answer that phone, and you don't know when you're going to get to me.
That's right.
Because
That's
if
right.
it's a couple people, don't let it be a couple of uncles and one aunt. It's going to be three. You got three people before you get to me.
Reverend Tia, I got to interrupt you, but you said that some years ago, and that tickled me. And I said, right on so much, because you said you got to talk to three people before you get to me. I said, that's right. Now, that's a village. That's a village right there.
Right.
So, that's right. You know, I always remembered you said that, Reverend Tia. I said, right on. That's right. You know?
Right.
Yeah,
See, they have
weren't
this
playing.
new gentle parenting type situation going on. And I think because we have so many devices now, so many things that can take you out of the range of your people, that you can't be gentle. You can't be so gentle. You
Right.
have to be on it.
Right.
Because these
That's
kids are
right.
coming up missing just like that.
That's
There's a
right.
young girl right now that's missing.
That's
Had
right.
been missing for over a month, Reverend,
That's right.
before
That's right.
Lord.
somebody even, recognized that she's really missing. And
You know,
so, we can't, you're right, we can't rely on devices to do the job of parenting.
Mm-mm.
So,
and
Now set a time. Turn that phone in.
right,
See,
right.
right.
I told my niece the phone gets turned in 9 o'clock Monday through Thursday. You get it, it can be a little longer over the weekend, start Sunday night. We back to it again. If you have to work, young people should be working, should
Mm-hmm.
have a job,
Mm-hmm.
at least
Mm-hmm.
part-time. And I
Mm-hmm.
understand if you play sports. I played sports and I know I couldn't work that last bit of the whole year, but I did in the summer. Every time I had a break, I knew how to get some money. I had to work,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
and teaching values.
That's right.
Value your time. Notice what's a distraction. I tell her, what is Auntie's first premise? Go back to the first premise when it comes to the young people who might be interested in you, these men, these young men. What is my first premise? Because you may not have one yet, so I need to tell you. And look, young people, get used to going like this. Look, this is the Queen's. This means be gone. Just be gone. Okay, so that means be gone. Okay, if you can't do it yourself, you need an auntie. See, I had an auntie that's to this day, she knew how to, reel me in. The first premise is auntie does not care about your relationship with him. I care about you as a person. I care about him as a person. And I want you to reach your goals individually. Be a complete individually whole person. But I do not care about your relationship. Said the same thing to my son. Twins. They brought their little girlfriends over. I had a meeting with both of them. First things first. I don't care about y'all relationship. Care about you as a person. Care about you as a young lady. And I will talk to you about anything and everything except my son. Don't bring up no information because we back to the first premise. I don't care about y'all relationship. Okay. And that has to because these are young people,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and so we got to get back to parenting one-on-one. And there should be by a certain age, I should be able to look at you and you should be able to know I need to calm down, sit down, be quiet, and know what to do.
You're very here because so many kids have committed suicide.
Mm-hmm.
So many children have had so many mental breakdowns because of the devices,
Mhm.
online bullying, and all that stuff has meant to take they have so many mental issues for that the only thing they can do is, or the only answer for them is to kill themselves. And
Right.
so you're right. We do need to be more alert to our children and to each other. And first of all, you got to pay attention to yourself, because if you're not paying attention to, look at the Oxford shooter, for instance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was literally telling his parents he needed help.
Yeah.
He
Sure.
wrote it in his diary. He
That's true.
wrote that he told
That's
them that he needed help.
that's
He
true.
was telling them he was hearing voices.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was shooting in the house.
Yeah.
He was killing birds. Like, how much more could a
And they
person
know
say?
that's psychopathic. That's part of, if you look at the list of a person who is on a psychotic break, even in young people, when they start killing animals, that's almost grounds for hospitalization. I had one child that I used to see, and he was just about, he had all of them, every symptom you could check off. There was only one thing he hadn't done yet, and that was set fire. A week after I started seeing him, he set fire to the neighbor's house. So the signs are there, like even what you were talking about, the school system saw the signs. But we cannot continue in our communities to wait for somebody else to do something.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be about, well, we'll wait for somebody else. Somebody else will see it. Well, let them go to school. The teacher ought to know what to do.
And literally, that's what they did. They wasn't even paying attention to each other. The mother and the father wasn't paying attention to each other, let alone this kid. And so
Yeah.
now this kid is going to be in jail for the rest of his life. Innocent people lost their children. And because these two people didn't parent, they didn't pay attention. All the bells was ringing and nobody was answering.
If you're
So
shooting a gun in the house, that that's kind of weird, don't you think?
mhm. Who's in the
Hey,
house with somebody? How do you sleep in the house with somebody that's shooting a gun in the house?
you don't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
So he had all these warnings. He knew, he himself said, "Hey, something's wrong with me. I'm hearing voices."
Yeah.
Nobody answered. And so now you see the aftermath of that, because
Yes.
nobody didn't want to take responsibility. Literally,
Mm,
they didn't take responsibility.
that's right.
So I think because we're having these conversations, and because these events like what Dion is having on Saturday, this gives people to come opportunity to come together in a
Mhm.
space where other like-minded people are, and
Yeah.
be okay with having these conversations, and okay with seeking help, and okay with saying, "Hey, I don't know what to do. Can you give me some help? My kid or my husband or my daughter or me or whoever. I'm having these issues and I want to get help." Because we don't have it goes from either getting help or penitentiary. It ain't
Yep.
no in between no more. Attorney
Mhm.
Hugo Matt just told us what happened to that. So it's
Mhm.
no in between. They're not going to get you no help if you don't get yourself any help. You're going to be in where he said the med lines,
That's right. And
walking around like,
those lines, you're walking around like the living dead. And sad to say, some people do it and they're not even behind bars. And some people
mm-hmm,
are living in their own self-imprisonment. And there is help. The first sign of triumph is when you can say, okay, I need some help. And then reach out.
mm-hmm.
I like what Dion said. We have to help each other, and we do. We do. I have people call me constantly needing some direction. Feel free to email me or at Tia Taylor at thechoicezone.com. Definitely reach out if you're needing some help. Just know that mental health is countywide. Okay, so you can always begin with the county. There are 1-800 numbers for emergencies. Do not wait too late. And if you feel like there's suicide prevention numbers, and Jay, maybe we can add that on the site so people can get help when they need it. But we got to know that there is help for us, and definitely reach out to that person who loves you
Mm-hmm.
and cares for you and supports you. And
And
even when they may think highly of you and that you got it all together, have that one person and they confide in them when you can't go any longer and say, look, I need some help.
that's right.
And then you're on your way. That's the first step. And we all need it. We all need help.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right.
I
And
know I've been on break before, on mental break.
Reverend Tia, I learned so much from all of y'all. And I remember there's some things y'all say I just stick in my mind, Like, I won't mention her name because she has not authorized me to mention her name, but a person I really admire quite a bit. I'm one for giving people names and situations names, right? And this person came up with a name that I wrote down, and I'm going to use it. Shabadoo Smith. It's so. You know what? I was mad at myself. I heard that woman say that, and I could not remember what that was. And I said, "Damn it! I meant to write that down." And fortunately, I called her. She remembered what it was. I got that name written down about 50 different places. So, well, I say that to say this. Some while back, Reverend T was talking about the spectrum, right? And so, I be listening, taking notes. I was doing some research. All of a sudden, I said, "Damn, I'm on the spectrum my damn self."
We all are. We all are.
We are on the spectrum.
So, and J Love, if I could just say this, part of the problem with these guns too, and I guess I'm going to talk about two different classifications of people. Young white guys with the guns, okay? Because of the lunatic fringe who wants to be elected president again and people that support him, anybody who has anything to say about reasonable gun regulation is anti-American. Okay. Now, this boy that did this killing up at Oxford, y'all help me. What is that boy's name again? The boy who did the killing. What?
What's his name?
Yeah. And anyway, the name escapes me right now. But anyway, there was a young man before that named Kyle Rittenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all may remember him. He's the one. Now, look at the similarities here, y'all. Look at some similarities here, okay? And I'm not trying to generalize or be stereotyped, but
I know it's Crumbly is the last name.
Okay.
Ethan.
Ethan Crumley or something like that. Is that his name? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, this young man, Kyle Rittenhouse, had a weapon. Okay, semi-automatic weapon that his people had bought for him. Let him get. Does that sound familiar at all to any of y'all? Okay. That they knew he had that gun. Okay. Now they may Crumley's parents may not have drove him somewhere with that gun, but they had that gun available where he could take it himself to where he wanted to go. Okay. So, and what I'm saying is the example that was set with the Rittenhouse matter who took that gun, you don't take a gun somewhere with you unless you're prepared to use it. Okay, you don't do that. Okay, you ask any law enforcement officer who carries a gun, say, are you prepared to use that weapon? And if a police officer tells you no, they don't need to be a police officer, or they need to be behind a desk. Okay, because it takes a mental state when you carry a gun. I'm not saying you want to use it, you carry it to use it, but you are prepared to use it. So I have to assume that when Mr. Rittenhouse took that gun with him across state lines, I might add, he was prepared to use it.
Who drove him across the straight lines?
Right. Yeah. See, he didn't ride his bicycle.
No.
Okay. See, so what I'm saying is, J Love and Reverend Tia, is that we have a culture now from a percentage, I think to me over 50%, but a percentage that says the gun is cool, y'all. Don't let nothing make you think you don't have a right to have a gun as an extension of yourself, okay? That man took that gun across state lines and shot them people. Yes, he did. And said, well, he was trying to retreat or whatever. If you hadn't been there with the gun in the first place, none of that would have happened.
Right.
That's
Okay.
right.
So what I'm saying is, for the young white person, when they look at Captain Cheeto and all that, the gun is cool. The gun is cool. Okay. Now, for the young black person, because in the state of Michigan, it has gotten so easy now for a person to get a CPL, because I teach classes on CPLs. Okay. And so it is so easy now. There is no gun board. See, once upon a time, you had to go before a gun board. You had law enforcement, prosecutor's office, maybe the county clerk. You had elected officials that you had to be accountable to. Now, you don't have to do that anymore. There is no gun board. So as long as you don't have some kind of a horrendous criminal record or with mental illness, you can get a CPL. It really isn't that hard. It's tedious. You got to go to classes and then go to the range. But if y'all don't have one now, either of you easily could. So in any event, what I'm saying is, for the young black man that now has realized the ease of getting a gun, that's so detrimental to our community, because it's not about a fist fight no more. It's about this 9mm.
Right. That's right.
So
And
go ahead, Reverend Tia.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of times, even though they can rightfully carry, sometimes we don't go through the steps to do it the right way.
That's true.
And they're waiting. They wait for people of color. Not saying it's disproportionate, because in some other states it's just right to carry anyway. And so it just depends on where you are. But they prey on people of color, and if they can find that you have a gun and you're carrying, and you don't have a right to carry it, then that becomes grounds to build a case.
Absolutely.
And we know prosecutors build. That's what they do.
Yes, that's right.
They're gonna build.
And see, you know what? That's another thing about Reverend T I really like. You know what? Like I say, I'll be listening to y'all and stuff like that. And, she has a way of putting things very succinctly, and I remember, Reverend Tia was teaching me one time, she says, that's what they do. They look to build a case. Now, they don't have one initially, but it reminded me of a little kid with Tinker toys or Legos. I'm going to put this piece here. I'm going to connect this piece. Next thing you know, I got a foundation for a house.
That's it. They've been Legoing us for a long time. So
Tony Mac, Oh, go ahead, Reverend T. I was going to
No,
say
go
there's a
ahead. Go ahead.
question for attorney. There's a question here for you, Attorney Matt.
Oh, okay.
Do you have to have a CPL to have an open carry? No.
No. You see, Michigan is an open carry state, by the way. Okay.
Mm.
A lot of people don't know that. Okay. Michigan is an open carry state. So if you have a shotgun, for example, Michigan is an open carry state. Okay. So, but people need to be very careful because, like I said, I teach these classes. For a weapon to be concealed, any part of it, I mean, even the butt of it, okay, or even the end of the barrel of it. If that's like somebody got it in their pant pocket or something like that, and the handle is sticking out, but that barrel is inside the pant, that's a concealed weapon. You better have a permit. You better.
It literally got to be on front of you.
Yeah, right. Hey,
totally.
Do you remember when the radical right-wing lunatics went up to Lansing and was trying to flaunt themselves in front of the state police? Remember, they had like the military outfit on, and they had those AR-15s strapped around their back, and they guns and all that kind of stuff. You remember all that? Okay, so yeah, Michigan is an open carry state, but I tell people, if you don't have a CPL, don't have that gun in the car.
No.
Don't have that gun in the car.
Or tell them, Attorney Mac, or in the trunk or in the glove compartment,
right. Oh,
please and thank you, because that still is concealed.
And that is an excellent. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna say this: it ain't open carry for everybody. So.
No, that's right. You know.
The darker the skin you are is
right. Yeah,
it's open for you.
Yeah. You know what that open carry will translate to. You can have an open casket funeral. That it can be open when they carrying your black behind to the cemetery. That's what open carry means. You know,
right.
I kind of like that. I kind of like that. I'm gonna write that down myself. I kind of like that.
It's not so open for you.
You got to write to an open carry casket.
Right. If you come and walking down the street, with that gun, talking about some open carry.
Yeah, that's right.
But somebody else can walk straight down the street with an AR.
That's right.
And be like, hey, I have the right.
Right. Hey, AR over here. Hey, AR over here. Right. They did it in front of the state police at the Capitol. In front of the state police.
Yeah, I remember that video.
Wow.
Had those people did the same thing and been people of color, they would not have made it that far at all past the lawn.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
Right. You would have made it to the first step.
That's right. Hey, y'all, and that would have been one of the shortest investigations in the history of the state. Hey, they'd have done that whole investigation the equivalent of a half a day of court.
That's right.
And we can laugh, but this is like for real. This 2024.
That's true.
It's like keeping it 100.
Right.
That's right.
So I'm just saying, y'all know, I don't know. Open carry is I don't know, a double-edged sword.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Of course, you have a right to have a gun on your premises, in your house. Yeah. You can be in your yard, for example, with a weapon opened up, but don't go out. Don't go out in that car with it. And if you step out on the streets, you better have it notoriously open. Okay. So
but, literally strapped them on your front.
Yeah, that's right.
But nothing, it can nothing.
Look, I told one man, look here, man, you want to talk about you got a right to open carry. Let me tell you something. You being who you are and looking who you are, I would not advise you go out with a gun talking about you open carry unless you start naked. Okay, because I'm telling you, if you got a loincloth on, somebody going to try to say, Judge, you was hiding it down there.
Right.
And we know naked from our last show. Naked does not work.
Yes, right. Naked doesn't even work. Last week,
You can't even be
you was
naked.
butt naked and still
That's
got
right.
shot.
That's right.
And tased and bit by a dog.
No, that's right. You know, so even that. I mean, hey, y'all, other than getting naked, what more can you do? I mean, you know, to show you ain't got it, what more can you do? You know, and they like, it ain't good enough.
Right. He was
They feel
butt
threatened.
naked.
They feel threatened because you naked.
They felt threatened by his
They feel
nakedness.
threatened. Yeah.
Because how do you explain tasing somebody, letting a dog bite him and shooting him, and he can't hide nothing anywhere.
Right.
Ain't nowhere to hide anything.
Right.
And with his hands up.
Right. No, I know. That's wow.
And I know there was probably some mental health issues going on in that whole scenario too, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's why we have to safeguard ourselves and get back into our communities and really deal with our health, our mental health, our sanity, our emotional well-being.
Right.
You know, check on your loved ones. Ask them, how are you doing? Are you well?
Right.
You know, let's get together and don't just get one answers.
Right.
Like, I'm okay. You know, go see about them.
Right. And, you know, J. Love and Reverend Tia, I want to bring this up. You know, in Michigan now, they've got a series of gun laws that have passed, and I believe all of them have gone into effect now. And one of them is the mandatory need to lock guns up, okay, with safety locks. But then another law is that you can report, and, you know, it's time will see how effective this law is. If you've got a loved one that's having mental health issues and there's weapons involved, the law has been changed now or amended where you can actually seek judicial intervention with that in terms of separating that person from those guns, okay? And really, that is a good thing. And I know because they had some people, Second Amendment, right-wing people who don't care nothing about no black folk, by the way. They're not arguing this because they're concerned about black people's mental health. They're arguing this because anything that has to do with any kind of a restriction on a gun, they're opposed to. Okay, they're opposed to. You know, getting a background check when buying a gun at a gun show. Oh no, that's my Second Amendment rights. You know. So what I'm saying is, it's going to be interesting to see how many members of the black community utilize that law to try and separate a loved one that is having a mental health issue when you know there's a gun in the house that they can have access to. So,
and also they're giving out more time, aren't they?
I'm sorry, time for what now?
If you get caught with your guns, you know, you get more time.
Well, you know, I mean, there's all kinds of there's habitual offender statutes, you know, so it would not surprise me, J. Love, you know, but the problem that we have is like you and Reverend T have been talking about, getting to talk to somebody, you know, getting to talk to somebody. I mean, in my own family, had a situation where a tragedy happened, but if my relative could have just talked to somebody, if they could have just had somebody say, wait a minute, let's sit on down here, let's talk. Didn't have it.
Right.
Yeah.
So you guys, I want to get off script for a minute.
Because
I got to take us somewhere else before we leave.
Okay.
But I know Attorney Matt might get a kick out of it. So.
Okay.
Here we go. Hopefully, I can get it to play for us.
Hey guys. Okay, I want you to listen to Fox's Black voter expert. Hold on, let me check my notes here.
Joy Reid!
Whoever explaining why the blacks will vote en masse for Fox's pet candidate, Donald Trump.
Oh, I got to see it.
Take a listen.
This is connecting with Black America because they love sneakers. They're into sneakers. They love the, this
I
is a
saw
big
that.
deal, certainly in the inner city. So when you have Trump roll out his sneaker line, they're like, wait a minute, this is cool. He's reaching them on a level that defies and is above politics. The culture always trumps politics. And Trump understands culture like no politician I've ever seen.
Question for you on that point, though.
Yeah.
Will the people that are excited about the sneakers and excited about Donald Trump, will that translate into them going out and voting for Donald Trump?
Well, anybody willing to put $400 down for a pair of sneakers? Yeah, I think that's commitment and love. It's
hope
something.
you're right.
It's something. It's affection.
Oh, in the inner city, the blacks in the inner city, they're just going to go crazy. All you have to do, according to Fox's Black people expert, is just dangle some $399 super expensive gold color sneakers in front of the blacks, especially in the inner city. And they're going to come running to Trump because they love the sneakers, They love it. The sneakers are the culture. That's the culture. You see, he's also the expert in the culture. That guy. Whoever that is from Fox. Expert on the blacks and expert on the culture. And he knows the blacks can't resist the gold sneaker shoes. It's just a thing about the blacks. So now you see, because it has been demonstrated to you, the level of respect that Fox has for Black people.
That's right.
And because Fox is simply the mouthpiece of the Republican Party, that should tell you the level of respect Republicans have for Black people.
Mm-hmm.
Take note of it. Hear what you hear. See what you see. Believe them. And act and vote accordingly. Just saying. Have a wonderful day, the blacks, and everyone else who's listening to my TED Talk. Ooh, be blessed.
I bet not see one. I bet not see. If I see one, I bet not see. I swear.
Look.
I'm going to prayer because I bet not see one. I bet not see nobody in not one of them pairs of shoes. Okay,
That's
don't
right.
come
That's
around
right.
me. Do not
That's-
come around me with shoes on. But that's it.
Well, look, J Love, I saw that and I said, wow, these people have no respect for blacks whatsoever, boy.
No.
It's the culture. It's the culture, wow.
The blacks.
You
If
know,
you think of something gold and shiny in front of them, they get
Right.
so hot on
hey,
the board.
AJ Love and Reverend Tia, while I do disagree with that tactic, but now if Trump was offering gift certificates for fried chicken and watermelon, now that might work. That's the next thing they're going to try to come up with. Gift certificates for KFC and Annie Jane's Watermelon Farm. See, that's the next thing they're going to come up with. You understand what I'm saying? So,
You need to call fast.
they
And on that note,
yeah. Thank you, J Love. Hey, J Love, I saw them sneakers too. They got a T on them too, right? A T. They got an embossed T on them, and then a little part of a flag. It ain't even got 50 stars in it.
Ugly. Those are the ugliest pairs of shoes I've ever
Other
seen.
pair of shoes. Hey, look here. Look like something out the Wiz.
Turns out, I wish I was home.
Okay.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Oh God. Oh, thank you, J Love. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. We might have to have a torch. I'm gonna walk around with a torch to fire up those shoes if I see them.
That's right.
Some hot feet.
That's right. And so I don't know how many black folk gonna put $400 down for some shoes. I don't think Air Jordans cost that much, do they?
no, Jordans don't cost that much.
You know.
But you know, this is where they are. You know what I'm saying? These is the people who think that, you know, I don't know. They both. I'm just gonna say that they both sides is crazy as heck.
Yeah.
But I think them gold gym shoes. He was proud of himself with them gold gym shoes. He had them out smiling and everything. Just knew we was gonna be breaking. The blacks was gonna be breaking their necks to go get some.
Right. Wow. Wow. Wow.
That shows
Well,
how ignorant people are still
right.
today.
Right. Right. You know. So you know what? And the thing of it is, you know, I don't want to get, you know, J Love. I'm using this for my final moment because y'all let's have a talk. The thing that's so amazing is you got you got a guy like Tim Scott. Donald Trump insult that man to his face. He insult that man to his face. All right. And Tim Scott laughing, shucking, jiving. You know what I'm saying? That man reminds me of what Malcolm talked about, the field Negro and the house Negro. Okay.
Yes.
He is so happy to be up there with that man, smiling. That man talking about, I know you really hate Nikki Haley, you know, and stuff like that. I know you really hate her. And talk about, no, it's not that, but I just love you. Boy, that sounds like a loyal pet servant to me right there. I just love you. You talk about the Central Park Five, even though all those men were exonerated through DNA, and Donald Trump said they still should be executed. Now remember that. Remember that. He said that. He said that. He said that. He talked about black men playing in the NFL with the Colin Kaepernick. Remember taking the knee? Remember all that? Remember all that? He referred to them people as sons of bitches. Okay, remember that. Remember that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Remember that. Remember that. He puts on members of the Supreme Court that strike down affirmative action. Remember that. Remember that. Remember that. Okay. Okay. This man makes it real clear when he talks about watch Philadelphia, watch Detroit, watch Atlanta, voter fraud, you know, watch Milwaukee, voter fraud. And you mean to tell me you really don't know who he's talking about when he talks about those urban areas? You really don't know. You really don't know.
Right.
Okay. So anyway, they don't debate with me anymore, J Love, because I get visceral. Okay, so when you talk about these black people that you know gonna go out, and I guarantee you, it's gonna be they're gonna find some porch monkey that's gonna have them. You know, notice there's only like one black man at every Trump rally. You know, so he got a sign or a T-shirt in the back. They're gonna bring that porch monkey out with some mark my words now, mark my words, wearing them gold shoes and talking about how good Trump is, you know.
And those shoes feel so good.
And it, you know, the best shoes, right, the best shoes in the world, you know, right here.
Best, better than Jordan.
Yeah, much better, much better. Oh yeah.
And remember at that rally when he said we're gonna beat them like the old days.
Right.
Who is he talking about?
That's right. That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So, that's all I got to say.
Yeah. We're gonna be, and remember, I'll pay the legal fees. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. You know. And J Love, let me just say this one more thing. Fonnie Willis. Oh, I'm sorry. We'll talk about that some other time. I don't want to talk all the time. That's okay.
So anyway, guys. So thank you everyone for joining us. Next week we're gonna be on break. Next Friday. We probably won't be here. But we'll be back because we ain't on break. I just have it.
Right. Look here. We run a marathon, not a sprint. Okay.
Right.
You know?
We'll be back because we got so much. We're gonna have to talk about the election, this primary that's going on.
That's right.
We're gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about. We gotta stay motivated, and we can have these conversations. So
That's right.
thank you
That's
guys
right.
for joining us. We love you. We'll see you soon on Turning the Moment into a Movement. Good night.
Good night.